Well, now in this video sizobe sidiscussana question 4. It's another question on analytical geometry for this November 2019 question paper. If we check out the description box of this video, question 3, we are also discussing analytical geometry. So the difference between the two questions is that question 3, it has more to do with finding a line, calculating a gradient. It's more focused on ama points, right? Like question 4 focus kakhulu kuma angle. So lana unga expect to calculate the angle of inclination kakhulu. So njengalana bangiphe ubani alpha, bangipha ubani theta as well. So in a typical common paper, iphepha lethu baliseta ngale ndlela le, right? Question 3, question 4, it's analytical geometry, but question 4 esikhathini esiningi vele ucalculate ama-angles la, yeah. Now la question 4, but in the diagram, B is a point on the y-axis. A, B, C, and D are the vertices of the rectangle ABCD. So this shape, this given shape is a rectangle, and then with the diagonals BD and AC are drawn. The inclination of DC is alpha and BAC is theta. Now theta lana, here's theta, and then now alpha la, right? And then go 4.1, but determine the gradient of CD. Nathatha ukubheka la B abasiphanga ama coordinates wakhe, and then for coordinate A there's an unknown value for y, or the y coordinate of A is unknown, and then for the rest of the coordinate for the rest of the coordinates D no C, we are given ama coordinates wakhona, both x and y. And then la ku 4.1 sifuna gradient ka CD. It's a straightforward one. We calculate gradient la 4.1, gradient CD is equal to YD minus YC over XD minus XC, right? Or ungathi YC minus YD XC minus XD. It's still the same, uzothola i-answer ifanayo. So lana ke substitute ngithola ukuthi it's 6 minus 0 ku numerator, and then ku denominator it's 7 minus 3. So nangithi 6 minus 0 ngithola u6, 7 minus 3 ngithola ubani u4. So our answer is 6 over 4 nalana. And then uma ngithi 6 divided by 4, u2 ngathini, a factor a common ku6 na ku4 ubani u2. So in other words, u2 ngena kayingaki ku3, sorry, u2 ngena kay ku6, ngena kay 3, and then la ku4 ngena kayingaki kay 2. So our answer is 3 over 2. Oh, ungavelusha ngecalculate ukuthi 6 over 4 equal to ka yokukhiphela u3 over 2. Now sesilana ke manje ku 4.2, but to calculate the size of alpha. It's another straightforward one. Nangabe ufuna alpha, as mentioned lapha kule statement, but the inclination of DC is alpha. So alpha, angle alpha is the angle of inclination for line CD. And by the way, 4.1 is start to calculate the gradient. So we can use this equation for finding the angle of inclination, tan alpha equal to gradient CD. So the gradient ka CD here is calculated the angle of inclination alpha by using this formula. Now siya substitute gradienting nayo mina I want to calculate ubani alpha. Then we substitute the gradient CD is 3 over 2 as calculated, and then ngithatha the inverse of tan to 3 over 2, or arctan to 3 over 2, and then we calculate again How about calculate in 2 decimal places? Calculator. Vela phela. Vela simele wena manje. Okay. Shift arctan, it's 3/2. Then we close the bracket. Sithola ukuthi it's 3.31 in 2 decimal places now. So our answer is alpha equal to 56.31. So now alpha wethu again. Now 4.3 but determine the value of y. So sifuna the value for y, which is the y coordinate for bani? For a. Now, okay, in a question in a question like this one, yeah, in a question where bathi kwamele calculate an unknown coordinate, whether x or y or both x and y, there's 2 ways we approach well, several ways of approach such a question. Nangabe bakuphi midpoint, you're midpoint formula. Yes, in most cases nangabe kuphi midpoint, vele lapho i-midpoint formula uzoyisebenzisa, and it's one of the easiest ways of calculating the unknown coordinate. If abakuphanga midpoint, you can either use a gradient or the distance formula, right? It's either ungasebenzisa iloganje i-distance formula or the gradient, right? So the whole idea for using formula with midpoint, gradient, distance formula, the idea lana is just to set up an equation ezokuvumela or ezokuncedisa ukuthi calculate the unknown coordinate or coordinates, right? So lana it makes sense to use iloganje i-gradient formula. Why ngisho njalo? Bheka la, I just calculated i-gradient kabani ka C bani and D, the gradient for line CD. That calculate yon, right? And then check la, this is a rectangle. It means what ke? Lana emakhoneni or ama sides wam, ama lines for these sides azoba perpendicular to each other. Ngathini la ngaphakathi, the interior angles are going to be equal to 90 degrees la emakhoneni la, right? So it means lama lines anjani are perpendicular. So for instance, Tina, we are interested in finding ubani coordinate y. So ngitheni, so sebenzisa ama gradients for calculating ubani coordinate y. So I need a gradient for AD in order to find ubani y. Now the gradient of AD I can calculate since I'm gradient kabani ka CD, and then these lines are perpendicular, and we know that ama lines are perpendicular. Now multiply ama gradients wakhona, you must obtain -1. So gradient ACD times gradient AD, I must obtain -1. But I do have a gradient ka CD, which is 3/2. I substitute 3/2 times the gradient of AD is equal to -1, right? And then ngiyenzani, simplify, ngithola ukuthi gradient AD is equal to -2/3. It's either we are divided by the 3/2 on both sides of the equation or multiplying nge-multiplicative inverse. Nangabe wenza njalo, the multiplicative inverse is basically the fraction lana sinani sine fraction on the left hand side, which is 3/2, which by the way ngifuna ukuyi-eliminate. Uyi-eliminate ngani? Nge-multiplicative inverse. The multiplicative inverse for 3/2 is 2/3. So that lo 2 cancel lo 2, lo 3 cancel lo 3. Since I multiply ngo 2/3 ngapha nangapha, I need to do the same. So -1 times 2/3 ngithola na i-answer ke. So now I have the gradient for AD. Right? Now I have the gradient for AD. Manje I can calculate i-coordinate kabani ka y. I can calculate the value for y for a coordinate kabani, y coordinate ka A. Now the gradient of AD is equal to YD minus YA over XD minus XA. ngiya substitute. I do have le value yala yd is what is 6, and then ya is y, which is the unknown lesifuna ukuyi-calculator, and then lana ngino xd u7, and then ngino xa u4, right? Let us substitute again. Boom. In fact, I think it's a solar. I think remove this. Yes. It's 6 minus y over 7 minus bunny 4, right? Lona 2. This is a 2. It's 2 over 3. And then bega argument. This is equal to. In fact, not equal to, but okay, let me do this. So Lana, it's negative 2 over 3 equal to 6 minus y divided by 3. 7 minus 4 is what? Is 3. And then ngenzani? I think now it's going to be bese ngenzani ke multiply both sides by what? Or I can just cross multiply, but bheka on the left hand side LCD yami on the left hand side the denominator with 3, on the right hand side the denominator ubani no 3. Into engayenza, I can just take out the LCD, which is 3, multiplying with 3 ngapha, multiplying with 3 ngapha. It's basic algebra, but anyway, let us do it. 3 cancel with 3 ngisale nobani no minus 2, and then with 3 cancel with 3 ngisale no 6 minus y. Then boom, nazo ke. Then in transpose lo y to the left, and then xalo 6 lo 2 ngimlethe ngapha, then I will plus 2, then y is equal to 8. This is my y coordinate for A. Or you can just say, okay, ngiceda ukuthi 7 minus bani 7 minus 4 ngathola 3, and then nginama fractions, then I can cross multiply. Now cross multiply or solve for y. But there's many ways for killing a cat, so here's another way for killing the cat. Anyway, siyakuphi ke manje 4.4, we want to calculate the size of theta. We want to calculate to theta ke manje. Let me clean up lana. I think erase lana so that we can answer 4.4. all right, now 4.4, but is calculate the size of theta. Now sifuna le angle yala, right? Sifuna theta. Well, theta singamcalculate kanjani ke yena? Okay, since this is a rectangle, here's a scenario. Lana it's 90 degrees, angisho. Lana ubani 90 degrees. Lana it's 90 degrees, and then if le angle yala bebangiphe yona or bengikhona ukuyi-calculator, then into bengayenza bengizoyenzani nginale angle mhlambe it's 30 degrees, it's 90, then I can calculate ubani theta. But this angle kuzoba difficult for thina ukuthi yenzeni siyi-calculate. So how about we use another strategy ke manje? What strategy, you ask? Singathi bheka. Since the angle ka alpha nginayo ubani, the angle alpha is what? 56.31. So calculate this one, right? Now see, calculator using what? The gradient. So in the angle for calculating the angle of inclination. So the angle alpha is what? Angle of inclination, right? Now start to calculate the coordinate like y. So tolo go to y ubani 8. Now what we can use is the gradient yaga AC to calculate the angle of inclination. This angle, right? This angle is the angle of inclination for line bani AC. By finding the angle of inclination for AC, I can calculate the angle yala. I can calculate this angle. This angle ACD, angle ACD, right? Angle ACD ngimthola kanjani? Ngithatha le angle of inclination for AC, subtract to 56.31 the angle of inclination for CD. Izonginikeza le angle yala, right? Now, we also know that this is a rectangular shape. Athina ama-properties were rectangular shape. Grade 10 which is something you should have learned. Properties of the common shapes. One of the properties of a rectangle, the opposite sides are equal and they are also parallel to each other. So the side lely parallel to this one. So it means the angle lena as well as this angle are alternating angle. So by finding the angle yala, sengno angle bani theta. The only thing is to calculate the angle of inclination for AC, and then the difference between this angle alpha and the angle of inclination for AC is only angle theta. So since I saw so tan, let's call okay, there's no need. So for angle, the tan of angle ACD. Wait, ngiyenzani ke manje? How about this the angle of inclination for AC as maybe beta? I'm not confused. I don't want to say theta because of theta is this angle yala. Let's say this is angle beta. The angle of inclination for AC. This angle, I hope you are this angle naila. This angle. This angle yala, right? And then tan beta is equal to the angle the tan beta is equal to the gradient of AC, right? The gradient of bani AC. Now yabona kufuna ukuthi senzeni calculate gradient ka AC kuqala ke. So gradient AC is equal to YA minus YC divided by XA minus XC. This is equal to YA ubani. YA is 8 minus YC 0 divided by XA 4 minus XC, which is 3, equal to 8 divided by 3 minus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Nokubana le problem le uthi nayisami ngibhekile la, it's 4 minus 3, but already mina sengibiza i-answer. Ngizwile ngitheni ngize 4 ngize 3 ngifuna ukuthi 3 minus 1 or something, but ngizwile I wanted to give away the answer. But anyway, now if 8 minus 0 it's 8, 4 minus 3 it's 1, so our answer is 8 la. Right, so our gradient for AC is what? Is 8, and then tan beta is equal to 8, and then beta is equal to arctan, right, equal to let's do this 8. Answer is 82.87. 82.87. So this is the angle of inclination for bani for AC, which by the way thina sibiza ngokuthi bani u-angle beta. Now sesifuna ubani u-angle ACD, angle ACD, le angle le, this angle yala, right? Now this angle is it's the angle of inclination for line AC, which is 82.87, minus the angle of inclination for line CD, which is the 56.31, which is equal to 82.87 minus 56.31 is equal to what? 26.56. 26.5 bunny 6 26.5.56 and then sathi angle theta uzoba equal to angle ACD because of isinani sinoma alternating angles because of ubani AB angisho parallel to bani CD. This is what one of the properties wama rectangle, that the opposite sides are also equal. Now theta is over equal to 26.56. nazo sinqobile ke sishayile bangani bami ay sishayile. Okay, now question 4 uphelela lana guys. In the description box uzothola ama links for other videos engiwarecordile for this 2019 question paper, mathematics paper 2. Okay, now we enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Now a question or there's something or some comment of answer, please share your comment in the comment section. And uthole some value out of this video. If ever new to this channel, please consider subscribing. I'll spawn on the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.